Okay, so mental health is a big part or an important part of my life where I kind of think it is also important to kind of talk about it. And this is maybe a good segue for me. Helping me in my mental health, my motorcycle is one of the most important part. But today it's not about my motorcycle. I kind of want to talk about mental health and just want to excuse. I'm here in my garage because it's almost winter and I haven't ridden the bike in a month maybe, and I sometimes like to just switch it on, let the motor run, then also charge the battery, spin the wheels a little bit so they don't stand on one spot. But I wanted to use this opportunity to talk about mental health, and I want to excuse everyone who listens to this, and it could be a little bit loud. But let me just roll the motorcycle out, switch it on, and then let's start talking.
So yeah, please excuse the noise. I just wanted to use this opportunity to kind of talk, and um, I hope the noise cancellation will take out this motorcycle noise as good as possible. But again, yeah, I just wanted to use these 5 minutes where let's leave the engine running to kind of talk about the topic of mental health. I think it is something that sometimes is a little bit forgotten. We talk a lot about it, but I feel like many people, or in the society, we don't take a lot of care about mental health. Meaning, for example, you go to the dentist, right? You go to the dentist, even though your teeth are all right once per year, at least in Germany, we go to the dentist, check it out, let's see if everything is okay. And then, yeah, if everything is good, we leave, right? It's pretty much normal. And I don't see talking about your mental health being normalized. So if you're going to, what's the English word, to psychologist or to therapy, we usually only go when something is wrong. Or sometimes people don't even go. In Germany, it's really hard to find a therapy session, for example. And it's a shame that we don't have enough therapists in Germany, but people only go there when it's everything is already a shit hit the fan, right? And that's a shame. And as I said, with the dentist, we also go to the dentist even though everything is okay, just to check up. And I feel like with mental health, it should be the same to just once per year, once per month, go to, or once every quarter, just go to a therapy session and talk about it. But also not necessarily to professional. I think we sometimes, especially male, are very likely not to talk about them, what's going on in their mind. And I think that's a shame. I think it's really important to talk about what's going on in your head. And I kind of want to double down on this YouTube thing, on this video journal that I'm doing. You see, when you have problems, there are multiple factors you need to keep in mind. When you have problems, it's um, there is a huge difference if you just kind of play it out in your head, in your mind, or if you actually try to verbalize it, either be it written down. For me, writing down something isn't as like efficient as if I would be talking, if I would be verbalizing what's in my head, trying to build sentences around that, and kind of, yeah, trying to put those thoughts into cohesive sentences and then like speaking them out loudly. And this could be talking to a friend, or in my case now, talking into the camera. I noticed this helps me a lot. And you would argue that, oh, but talking to a friend is more efficient. And that is totally correct. But sometimes you also get either unsolicited advice or you get judged. A good therapist, for example, usually doesn't say much. They just ask the right questions. And if we are really real to ourselves, no one else can solve our problems. We usually have to solve them by ourselves, try to figure them out by ourselves. So a good therapist will ask the correct questions so that you can verbalize what's in your head, and then through talking about it, you find the solution yourself. And that is why talking in general is so important, either with friends or in this case with a camera. And again, for me personally, it's if I have something in my head, it's not as an air quotes efficient as if I would actually actively trying to verbalize and kind of put all of these thoughts into cohesive sentences. So again, this is why I kind of think you should, or I recommend to start these kind of videos, because not only are you practicing making videos, but more importantly, you can just talk everything that is in your head into a lens, making cohesive, verbalized thoughts, and that will hopefully help you to kind of solve whatever is in your head. And again, these videos don't need to be for public, but just the practice of talking into camera is so helpful. And again, it comes back to mental health. I think we in society, but more importantly, male, are very likely not to talk about our problems. And having this kind of tool is extremely helpful. And I can only recommend if you have a lot of thoughts in your brain. And also, I don't have that many friends that I actually am comfortable talking about stuff with. And it's kind of weird that I'm talking about stuff, for example, into this camera in public. But for me, it's just, I don't tell you everything. I have friends I talk about my problems, but just this pure talking and getting things out of my head onto a video file is actually a stress relief, because those thoughts aren't just like flying in my head, but are actually verbalized and then out of my brain. And that actually is good practice, just to talk, but also to get your stuff out. And with that, it also becomes easier to talk about problems with other people. I mean, that was a very convoluted train of thought, but I hope you were able to get what I was saying. So yeah, I think it's really important to sometimes talk about this kind of stuff. And especially when you have something in mind, don't be afraid to talk to other people, or utilize the tool of a video camera. Again, it doesn't have to be public, but it is so helpful not to just have those thoughts in your head, but actually trying to verbalize them and putting them on a piece of medium, either paper or a video file. Just getting those out of your brain through your mouth helps you to find a solution to your problem. Again, a good therapist, from my personal experience, only ask you a lot of questions, and you keep talking, and suddenly you realize, oh, okay, now that I kind of verbalized it, I understand my issue. Now let's try to find the solution. And yeah, that's why I kind of recommend always these YouTube videos, to just do them. YouTube being your accountability buddy, the camera being your tool, and you are just trying to talk about your whatever's going on in your head. Yeah, I hope that was a little bit helpful, and I hope the motorcycle wasn't too loud. If you want to see a different video, the one from yesterday, check out the video up here. YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. Maybe hype and like the video, and help me to get to 2,000 subscribers by clicking the button up here. I see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.